like you're saying, you're not ready for stuff. Sometimes you're not ready and you have to go through certain stuff. But when you're ready, nothing can stop you.
Just like what's about to happen now. Nothing's going to stop us from doing Transformations by Vanessa. Think and Be. It's in your story. What's my story? And that's what we're going to be delivering. What is your story? And that's the question we're asking you today. What is your story? You have a story. Maybe you haven't told it before because of fear, because of what other people may say, and maybe you don't even know how to tell your story. That's why we're putting this program together. Why have we decided to do this? Well, it's really based on all the people we've been speaking to over the last few months, wanting to get to their next level. And one of the most important things that we've both discovered, that getting to your next level requires work, and it requires internal work. And Margo, let's talk about some of the internal work that both of us have been doing over the last few months.
So for me, the last couple of months has been about stepping into my expansion, really becoming who I know who I am and want to be, and to actually be it now.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided really that for everybody out there who they're actually willing now, who is ready to come together, that we could share our experiences, and for everyone to basically share with us how they're doing and how we can inspire them, help them to transform their lives.
And that's one of the biggest things we like to do. We like to help people. And the reason I in particular like to help people is because of all the help I've had along the way. One of the things I'm going to share with you this afternoon is my book, which I've co-authored. Let's just get that right up there. That's me. And my mentor, Mr. Les Brown. Yes, I've co-authored this book, Fight for Your Dreams, The Power of Never Giving Up. And whenever I look at this book, I ask the question, well, did I really do this? Maybe you're asking yourself the same question. Can I do something? And I'm going to say, yes, you can. Yes, you can. There's a big, big story behind this book, and how I got connected with Les Brown, the world's leading motivational speaker, and now have my story, or a part of my story, in this book, which is getting around the world very, very fast right now. And because you're on this webinar, because you're looking at this video, I know you will be purchasing one of these, because it's going to be part of the tool that we're using in Transformations by Vanessa. We'll be looking at some of the stories in this book and how people have managed in the face of adversity to rise up above all the challenges that they've had. And not only rise up, they've become conquerors. And there is a conqueror in you. Never resign yourself to the place that you're in at the moment. It's just a temporary place. Just like a lot of the authors in this book, they'll share their stories. It's a temporary situation, and don't let any temporary situation become a permanent feature. Do you agree with that, Margo?
I certainly do. Mm-hmm. It's a case of gathering yourself together and looking at the bigger picture, and regaining the focus. When you start to regain the focus, you know exactly where you want to go. You now have a target to aim for, and there's science behind it that actually supports it. So we're going to be sharing with you some of the tools and the techniques that will help you to gather yourself. So these are times where now we're all coming together and consciousness is rising to realize that there is more to us than meets the eye. And despite where we are now, we can always, anytime, change our story and reveal what our real story is. That lets us grow, that helps us to get to where we want to be and succeed, because we are successful. We were born to be successful. And that's what we're going to share with you, some of those tools and those techniques. And we're going to work through all of this and guide each other as we're going. Vanessa.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've hit the nail on the head. We're going to guide each other. This isn't about Vanessa telling you what to do. This isn't about Margo telling you what to do. This is about you coming and finding that thing that I always call the power voice, your power voice. And once you begin to find and discover that voice, you'll be marveled by what you can do. I'm sure, like many people, you've told yourself, I can't do that. Oh, she's better than me. Oh, he's better than me. I'm saying to you today, you've got it in you, and we have the tools to help you bring them out. One of the tools that I work with, and it is my passion, as you know, Margo, it's to be able to tell your story, how you tell your story, the words you use, the emotions you use, the tones you use. And I help you to build on that story so that whenever you show up, don't matter in what environment you find yourself in, you can sell yourself. We're always selling ourselves, and that's what I want you to be able to do successfully. People will remember you for the how they feel, not so much what you said, but how you make people feel when you show up. And Margo, you do that all the time, and that's one of the reasons why we're working together. Transformations by Vanessa. It's not just by Vanessa, it's by Margo as well. We're starting from the internal, and when I say the internal, I mean internal. You're going to be following us because I've got something which you're going to be so delighted about, and I'm sure you will, because we're starting with the detoxification, cleansing our inside to prepare ourselves for the best work that we've been gifted to do. And if you think that you can do the best work when your inside is completely messed up, I can guarantee you it's not going to happen. So I'm going to lead by example. I'm starting with a detox, and maybe you can join me. Or if you're not so brave, maybe you may watch us as we do it. The choice is yours. Nothing is forced on yours. One of my favourite quotes, I always love this. It says, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. You're never going to do anything until the right time. So if this is the right time for you, Transformations by Vanessa is the place you want to start your journey from. Margo, it's over to you.
I totally agree with that. When we say we're going to start from the inside out, not only are we going to start from the inside out with your thoughts and your body, what are you actually putting into your body? Everything in this universe has a thought. It starts with a thought. Everything is energy. And what we're going to be sharing with you, how you can start to change the physical aspects on the outside when you actually change what happens to you on the inside. Mm-hmm. How you think, how you feel. We're going to give you tools to change how you think and how you feel, to bring about the change that you are seeking in your life, to bring about that confidence that you are seeking to succeed, to push you even further forward than you have ever been pushed before. And yes, magic happens. And we've got stories to share with you that really do sound like magic. People do say, yes, it's synchronicity. We can show you how powerful you really are. Because a lot of the time, we kind of like brush things away. We're not really thinking about, yeah, this is what I can do and this is what's showing up in my life. It's not a case of just, it's a case of, wow, the wonder of how I think and feel literally changes everything. Now we're going to run with it. We're going to grab it. We're going to work together on bringing some spectacular things into your life with Transformations by Vanessa, and with now Think and Be. Because at Think and Be, this is exactly what we do. We do it now. Because there is only ever now. Not tomorrow, not revisiting last week. Change today, and we're doing it now in this present moment. So yes, when I've spoken to people about that, they all say, yes, we know about this. But are you really using it? As Leo Pascalia said, to think and not to do. So if you think you know it and you're not doing it, you really don't know it. So we're going to get to think. We're going to get to the be, and then we are going to do it because we know it. And we are taking you on this journey with us. Vanessa?
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to hearing the stories. There's so many stories all around. From the moment I wake up and step out of my house every day, I'm hearing stories. And I shared a few stories with you, Margo, last week. And I'm looking forward to sharing it with the wider world as we move forward with Transformations by Vanessa. Lives are waiting to be changed. And I know that your life is waiting to be changed. But are you ready? Are you feeling enough pain to take the necessary steps for your own personal transformation? A lot of the time, people are patching up things. Just for example, take a bathroom and you've got a few tiles which have fallen off the wall, and you've found some, not glue, glue. You cement the tiles back onto the wall and they keep falling off. But isn't that telling you something? Is there a problem behind the wall? There's a likely possibility that you've got to go behind the wall to the real problem. And through life, a lot of people are just patching things up with an expectation that everything's going to be fine, but they haven't gone to the core. And what is in your story, Transformations by Vanessa, Think and Be by Margo Toppin, it's all about identifying the core problems, the core issues, your core. And once you can identify the core, we can start working on it. But first we peel back the layers of like that onion, and yes, you're going to cry because we know what it's like when we peel back the onions and our eyes start to water. But it's only for a time, it's only for a season. Everything we go through is cyclical. And as we go through this process of transformation, and then you look back on the person that you were and the person you've becoming, now that you've discovered your core, there is room for so much celebration. And that's what we're going to be doing at Transformations by Vanessa, celebrating the new you. In fact, you are already there, but the discovery of what you didn't even realize existed. I'm so excited about this because this is going to be one of the biggest growth platforms. We're doing this at a level of fun because we love fun. And if you know me, I love to laugh. And I understand that laughter is a lubricant of the soul. And yes, I love my soul to be moistened. And I hope I hope you want your soul to be moistened just like we do. We're going to have fun in your personal growth. We're hoping that you will have fun and you'll stretch yourself as much as you can be. Margo speaks about the discomfort zone being an expansion zone. Tell us a little bit about that expansion zone, Margo.
As beings, I have to say beings, I love saying beings because that's what we are, human beings. We are human beings having a human experience. And for years I've heard, oh, you've got to stay out of your comfort zone. And for a lot of people, yes, we have become in that circle. And dare we step out and be who we really want to be? It's not easier than you think it is. I would say it's a case of you were given thoughts and you were given ideas and you were given dreams. And whilst you think you're stepping out of your comfort zone, you become very comfortable being small. You were never meant to be small. You were always meant to grow and think, as we say, think and grow rich. Mm-hmm. Think and grow. So when you think and you grow, you are literally stepping into your expansion because there's a law of expansion. As you expand, that void that was there was to come in and fill it. So when is now going to be the time for you to step into your expansion? When are you going to fill that void that you've been yearning for years to fill? Because that is the expansion that you're supposed to be. It's being like a caterpillar, growing from that caterpillar and becoming that butterfly. Whether it be in a relationship, whether it's been in your weight, whether it's been in your business, changing your career. What is it that you have been wanting? What is it that you have been wanting to grow into? That you think that's not necessarily possible for you at this time, because it is. What have we been putting off, saying, yes, we'll do it tomorrow? Tomorrow never comes. Now is your time to do it. Now is your time to step into who you really are, which is stepping into your expansion. Was it supposed to be uncomfortable? Well, maybe feel a little uneasy about it. That's because we were growing up with the fear factor of trying anything new. No, don't touch this. No, don't touch that. You'll get hurt. Is that really the case for you now? Can you think bigger? Can you dream bigger? Can you now become who you really are, who you were meant to be? Can you share some of those we call them hobbies? They're not hobbies that you do, because some of those so-called hobbies that you do are actually a career. They are your business. And if for 1 minute you think that you can't do it, then it can never be.
Thank you, Margo. You can be anything you want to be. You can do anything you want to do. And I really feel that you're about to take a quantum leap in your life right now. I was at a bus stop just recently. I remember sharing this story with you, Margo. And I'm always listening for stories. There was this elderly woman, and she was sitting at the bus stop talking to another elderly woman. And I guess she was in her 70s. And she said to the other lady, well, I'm so glad I stayed on in my job for an extra 5 years. I left my job at 65. I worked as a paediatric nurse for over 30 years in one of the largest hospitals in London. And for the many years she worked there, she got some amazing accolades from the doctors, but she never believed in herself. One of the patients was a little girl. She was about 7 years old, and she was on a ventilator for, I think, must have been about 6 months. And this particular nurse lady, she cared for her. And the mother always noticed this particular nurse whenever she came to the hospital to visit her daughter. So the mother went to the doctor and said, when my daughter comes home, you see that nurse over there? I want her to come home and give my daughter the aftercare. So the doctor shared that information with the nurse, and she was flabbergasted. Me going to somebody's house by myself without a doctor? No! She didn't believe in herself. She didn't believe in her capabilities. The mother of the child saw what she was doing. She saw how she took care of her daughter. She saw how her daughter responded to the care. So much so that the doctor had confidence in this woman that he could entrust her in the home with the child by herself to take care of this child. But she didn't believe in herself. And maybe there's something that you're doing right now. You don't believe in yourself. But someone's told you, yes, you can. You're really good at that. Haven't you thought about doing whatever the thing, the task may be? But you're telling yourself a story of limitation. You're selling yourself on impossibilities instead of what's really possible for you. And that's why Transformations by Vanessa is here for you, because we recognize that there's something in you the world must hear, the world must see, and you must share. We're going to give you the skills. We're going to share with you the tools. I'm going to be teaching you and sharing with you how to use your voice, how to tell your story, how to build your business, because that's what we do as well. As sharing a part of who we are, we share the tools that we use to build our businesses. And we want to hear your voice. This is not just about myself speaking to you. This is about you interacting in a very, very warm and informal environment. Forget about all the pokey conferences you've been to before. You can still continue to go to them because everything serves its purpose. What we're doing here, we're getting to a grassroots level where you can find yourself, stand firm, stand strong, and be bold. That's who you are. Never let anybody tell you anything less than you are an amazing person. We're going to bring that out of you. Transformations by Vanessa. We're going to be dealing with your health. We're going to be dealing with your wealth. We're going to be dealing with your personal growth and your personal development. So if those are any areas that you can identify with right now, then you know this is where you need to be. Transformations by Vanessa and Margo Toppin is going to be delivered on a weekly basis. Now, this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be having these webcasts as well as our online webinar coaching sessions. Margo, I'll pass this to you in a second, Margo, but you can tell them what you'll be doing. I'll be going through my coaching session where I'll be helping you to deliver your core message. So this is really going to be helping you in your speaking. And I take it further than just speaking. It's in your general communication. How to sell yourself. How you do anything is how you do everything. And I want to see you shine. So I'm going to be focusing on the story side of it. You've got a story. You've got a powerful story. Yes, I can see you nodding your head. I can hear you saying, yes, I want to be able to tell that story with power, with conviction, and with passion. Am I getting a little bit passionate? Well, maybe, because this is what I do. This is what I love. I'm also going to be helping you to sell yourself out there. Do you have a website? How are you selling yourself? Are you using social media? These are just some of the things we're going to be using in Transformations by Vanessa. One of the biggest things that we're going to be looking at, both of us, is our health. I mentioned it earlier along about the detox. Well, we're going to be looking at our internals. We're going to be looking at the food we eat. We're going to be looking at the way we think about food. We're going to be looking at what we're consuming, whether as consumers of financial things or whether it be consumers of food, liquids, whatever. That's what we're going to be focusing on, and how we can grow and redefine and redesign who we are. Margo, let's hear what you're going to be sharing.
Now, think and be, because that's really what we do every minute of the day. So who are you actually being right now? This is about you. I'm going to share with you some of the science behind why, when we set out the intention and we feel uncomfortable, that we don't succeed. And I'm going to share with you some of the steps you need now, where you can choose to take to move yourself forward and bring into manifestation that goal that you've been seeking, that desire. No matter how small it is and no matter how big it is, it's achievable. Like I said, for you, if you can think, you can have it. You can do it, you can be it. I'm also going to work with you on what's your story. We have a story for everything in our lives. We have a story for the relationships that we have. We have a story for the life partners that we attract. We have a story for the wealth that we have in our life. We have a story for the career, our health. One of the things that I'm very, very strong about was the fact that I saw lots of people year after year going on diets, and the diets weren't working because it's not about the diet. It's about your story. So what we're going to do, we're going to examine what your story is, and we're going to work you in who you really are, so you can manifest your goal and become clear about what it is that you want. We're going to have fun with this, because at the end of the day, life is supposed supposed to be fun. And if you're not currently having fun, if you're feeling stressed for any reason at all, whether it be in a relationship, we said, health, your wealth, why is that? Is it fun right now? No. So we're going to bring in the fun element. As you bring in the fun element, you bring in that energy, that playful energy. We're going to learn how to play more in life. Because as we play in life, that magic does show up. Those things in life do show up for you. And we're going to have fun learning about these things. And we're going to share, not only ourselves, but as a group, we're going to share some pretty inspiring stories as we're going along. So it's a case of down, think and be. And as you think and as you be, you bring yourself into that creation. That's when you are going to discover some pretty powerful stuff that's going to escalate you higher than you have ever thought possible. We're going to love sharing those things with you. So those tools, we're going to change the story to support you, and we're going to find out what your story is that's going to transform your life to take you to your desired destination. Vanessa.
Thank you, Margo. Never think that you're alone on this journey. There is always support, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to support you on your dream. We're here to support you every step of the way. We only work with the willing, and if you are willing to do the work, then we are more than willing to support you on the journey. We're not here for wasting our time, and we're not here to waste your time. Time is too precious. We only have this moment, and we want to make the most of the time we have. We want to be able to leave a legacy. And if you can commit to yourself to the one thing that you desire for your life, if you're willing to make the change, then yes, we're willing to do whatever it takes for you to get there. I am committed to Transformations by Vanessa. I know the support I've had along the way, my journey, transitioning from working in the IT industry for many, many years, a well-paid job, now doing something completely different, something that gives me so much excitement, where I can see the difference that I'm making in people's life. There's nothing more rewarding than this, when you show up and someone acknowledges you for the transformation that's taking place in their life because you spoke a word to them. You made a suggestion to them that's allowed them to see themselves in a complete different light. This is your time. The light's shining on you, but are you prepared to look up into the light and glow with it? We're going to shine some light on you, and we want to see you glow. We're going to have I'm getting warmed up now. I'm feeling the glow, even though it's not very sunny today. What's it like where you are? Now, this is one of the things about me. I can get distracted very easily, but I come back to the point. So if I'm going away from what I'm talking about, don't worry. I can assure you I'm going to get back to the point. What's the weather like where you are? Yeah.
Yeah, well, the weather, it looks pretty grim. You know what? Something that I've always found quite extraordinary. People spend a lot of time emphasising on the weather. Oh, there's more sunshine, and when they get sunshine, oh, it's a bit hot. To me, whether it's rain, snow, sunshine, I love it. Someone said to me once, oh my gosh, now it's raining. And I say, yeah, and that's cool by me, because that's fine. That means that's one less job for me to do. And that is watering the garden. What could be more natural than to have rain come down and water your garden? You could be out there watering for such a long time. But when you get a couple of days of rain, for all the gardeners out there, you notice how big and beautiful and bright your plants look. Rain is a necessity. And that's one of the things I also share with people, is Well, I know a vast majority of people already know, but we are 75% water. So are you going to say, no, I don't like it? Say yes, more please. It nourishes us, it nourishes the world, it nourishes everything. You can't live without it. So this is about doing the simple things in life to bring joy into your life. Those simple things that we bat away. Sharing love at the basic level. Self-love. People will say, oh no, I'm looking at myself in the mirror. Well, if you're not doing it, especially if you want to find a partner, do you think they're going to be looking at you? Because they have outside little hints and tips to get you to where you are. And they may seem so tiny and insignificant, but some of those tools, when you start to employ them, you're going to surprise yourself what a huge shift that you'll have in a couple of days. And sometimes within 24 hours, it's that fast. Sometimes even sooner than that. Now's the time to step forth and have fun. We also think that it's always going to be hard work. We're going to bring the fun element to it. And you're going to find out just by stepping into your expansion, where it can be comfortable, where you can start to begin to get comfortable with that space, start to have fun with that space, and watch yourself fly, watch your business fly, watch your relationships flourish, watch your health be expansive and be vibrant. We're going to share with you some of those very basic tools that people have known in the East for many, many years. And sometimes even your grandparents, your forefathers and forefathers before you. We're going to start to reconnect to some of those very basic tools that the West is now waking up to. We're going to ignite some of that back into your life, infuse the life that you've been wanting back into your life. Bring it. We're going to bring it to you. And we're going to enjoy sharing it with you. And as we share it, we're going to see some of the things that we probably may not have been aware of. But we're all here to learn. Because the minute you stop learning, you stop growing. So we're going to invite you to step in with us, take this journey with us, and see how you're going to flourish and grow and expand. It's time for you to start living the life.
Yeah, it is time. The time is now. And as I said before, you got to do something. You got to become the person that you dream of being. You've got to become someone you've never ever been. It's uncomfortable, yes, we know that, but it's worth it. It really is worth it. I know. I've had the experience. Many, many thousands, millions of people around the world are having that transformative experience right now. And you're next. But you've got to be willing. You've got to be willing. And we are ready. Ready and raring to go. So, get yourselves ready. I'm just going to reiterate one more time. We are launching Transformations by Vanessa. It's all about your story. It's about identifying your core purpose, your passion, that thing that gives you that effervescent feeling every single moment of the day. Even when you might be feeling down, you're still driven because of your passion. And that's what transformation does. It awakens that passion, that dormant passion, or even identifies it. And once we do that with you, then we start the building blocks. And we're going to be learning, we're going to be growing. Each one teaching one. We'll be bringing all that we know, and things we don't know, we'll be bringing guesting on the program, on the coaching as well, to make sure that we deliver everything you desire. I want to see you We're going to be putting out more of these videos over the next few days because we feel it's really important that you understand why we are doing this. We're doing this because we care. I'm doing this because I want to leave a legacy. I want to, when it comes to the end of the day, I can say, well, I really served my purpose. I contributed to people's life. They found their reason in life because I showed up. That's what I want to do, to make a difference. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? You'll discover that at Transformations by Vanessa. You're going to think and be, because that's Margo's side of things. How did Think and Be come about? Because Think and Be, we've heard about Think and Grow Rich, Think and Be Slim, Think and Be whatever, but just Think and Be. And I think what your business is called is Now Think and Be. How did that come about?
I came across this. Well, I mean, a vast majority of people will have already known, like, The Secret, when that came about back in 2006. Well, I didn't actually see it until 2007. But growing up, I kind of knew there was something out there, but I couldn't put my finger on it. And it was kind of like a strange feeling where I could see things happening, but then I wouldn't say anything to anybody. I could see the words that are coming out of people's mouths would turn into some sort of action, would turn into some sort of event right before my very eyes. But I didn't say anything because I thought, well, you know, to me that was normal. Not everybody can see that. So when I saw The Secret, the alarm bells went off, and then I realized that, you know what, I'm bigger than I thought that I was, and what I was seeing, I wasn't really that woo-woo girl. We all know, we have intuition. We come with a knowing already. And a lot of us, it's like you trip up once you find out, you know, oh, I've discovered something. And then you shock yourself and then you brush yourself off because, heaven forbid, I should say anything to anybody. When I discovered that our thoughts become things, I quickly began to do a few little tools and tweaks and techniques myself, and it's through discovery, through reading, and then actually applying it. But there was something that had to happen now, not tomorrow, as I said. Now, when I discovered that what I did now in this moment actually brought across another result. What was that result that I wanted to actually achieve? Was it really who I was really being? No, it wasn't. So as I thought about what I wanted, as I decided to actually sit in that feeling of being what it would be like, and started to reenact it, not necessarily out to everybody who didn't know about this, or, you know, people would think they're a little bit, you know, she's a little bit strange. Don't worry about any of that. Because it's your transformation. It's who you really are. Would you really want to go back to who you were? Because then you hold yourself back the whole of life and you watch how other people take off. How did they do that? Because they stepped into their expansion. They were willing to go just that little bit further. The first time I thought I could be more than I thought I could be is I had my first workshop. And as I stepped out there, and I'd never spoken in front of anybody before, most amazing thing, how she loved talking about all of this, talking about who we really are, talking about what we could do. It's like that. It's like, wow, I never thought that I could speak to people in front of more than 4 people without being tripping over backwards. And here I was, I had a room of between 13 to 15 people. And it was like magic. I forgot. I was being who I wanted to be. So all you have to do is just take that one step. And as I found out, what I had to do was take that one step. Everything got bigger and bigger and everything started to shift. but it's something that you have to be doing all the time. And yes, we don't use the have words. If you want it, you have to be it. You can choose to become it. And as you choose to become it and choose to act like it, when the opportunity comes up, I grab it. And as you grab the opportunity, you're going to start to see some pretty amazing stuff happens. So that's my part and how I came to now think and be, because I figured it out. If you want something, if you want to become that millionaire, if you want that loving relationship, you have to be that loving relationship first. It takes some tweaking and it takes some work. That's why we're here, to help you with those baby steps. Because the minute you fall back into the old you.
That's so beautiful, Margo. We're here to serve. What was it Zig Ziglar said? Service is the rent that we pay for the space that we take up on this earth. And some of us are taking up a heck of a lot of space. But are we serving people at the same time? And that answer, well, you give me the answer. What I know is that if you are willing to serve, yes, we're willing to work, and that's what we're doing. We're using our time carefully. We're using our time in the best and most efficient way to see the best and the greatest results, because the great results come from the great person, that great being that lies inside. And you are that person. We are ready, and we're ready to rock and roll. Margo spoke about play. Yes, we're going to play as well. And we don't only want to play online. We're going to be running some workshops. So this is where we want to see you show up in the physical being. And we're going to have some fun. We're going to laugh. There's going to be a range of emotions. And I can almost assure you there will be tears. But there will be tears of joy, tears of release, tears of, now I've found what I'm supposed to be doing. Because we're going to be working on you, working on the messenger. You are the messenger, and people, the world must hear what you have to say. We've committed ourselves to this, and we've spoken this a few times on this video, and I'm going to say it one more time. We are committed to your success. The reason why we're committed to your success is because we're committed to what we've been called to do. When you hear that calling, you move. If you've been called to do a task, don't wait for someone else to do it. That's yours. Own it, do it, and be blessed, because as you deliver that, the blessing that you're giving to another person's life, you cannot even put a figure on that. You cannot quantify it or even qualify it. Show up. A friend of mine, Andy Henriguez, he has a program called Show Up for Your Life. And I want to ask you, are you showing up for your life? Or don't you know what life is all about? Well, Transformations by Vanessa and Now Think and Be will help you to get there. Show up for your life. Don't matter what it takes. Just show up, show up, show up. This is Vanessa McLean. It's in your story. It's time to write a new story. This is my story, and I'm going to stick with this one. What say you, Margo?
Now think and be. Now, I'm being who I truly am. I'm being me. I'm going to take my story and I'm going to change it to reflect who I truly be. Who do you truly be? Come join us, and we are going to transform together. We're going to rock your world, and we are going to have some serious fun along the way.
You know what? I'm laughing, but I'm saying to you, skin your teeth. Laugh, 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 laugh. It's the lubricant of the soul. Don't stop laughing. It just gives that so much positive energy, and it makes another person feel so much more enlightened and full of life. Keep laughing, keep smiling. We're not going to stop doing that. Margo, That's all for me today. Until we meet again. Join us next week. We are Transformations by Vanessa. We'll be sending out all the details, so we're not just leaving you high and dry. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to send you out the information where you can find us. You can find me, you know where to find me, at vanessamclean.com. That's my main website, and you'll find all the information of the other projects that I'm working on. Transformations by Vanessa. And I haven't mentioned this to us yet. One of our big projects, which we've just launched this week, is the Smooth Mix. Yes, it's in your story. Smooth Mix for the Entrepreneur Soul, Volume 2.
Jake was a businessman who had a flourishing business. But you never know when hard times are going to come. And they do. But if you have a can-do attitude, you'll get through those hard times. Never mistake that dry place with a dead place. But what did Drake do? He took his eye off the prize. He lost his focus. And because he lost his focus, he began to lose everything he had. He lost his focus.
If you haven't purchased a copy as yet, I'm recommending that you click on the button below. Yes, and get yourself a copy for a limited time only. We're offering volumes 1 and 2 for a special discounted price. Don't wait till tomorrow, because I might decide I'm going to take the price down tomorrow. So get in there. If you hear what you like, do what it says on the can, just like that famous tin of varnish. It works. But remember, it only works if you work it.